Switching from Windows to Fedora was a scary move, not just because of the OS change, but because it meant walking away from two games that I loved, Apex Legends and Delta Force. Both were a big part of my gaming identity, fast, technical and intense. But the trade-off? I got an operating system that's fast, private and customizable, and surprisingly good for gaming. So the question became what games can fill that void. First we have Bloodstrike, which stepped up as a surprising Apex alternative. It's fast, aggressive and built for quick action. You've got unique operators, fast movement and tight gunplay, and it runs flawlessly on Linux with Proton. It may not be as polished as Apex, and it's definitely a mobile game that's been ported to PC, but it's easy to jump into, and that mix of movement and mayhem really hits the spot when I want something competitive and fast. And then there's the finals, the chaotic wildcard. You've got destructible environments, high mobility and unpredictable teamfights that make it feel like a more experimental cousin of Apex. Although obviously it's not a battle royale. It plays well enough to be a reliable fallback, and it definitely keeps me on my toes. I highly recommend checking out the finals. Delta Force had me completely hooked, especially the operations mode. That PvPvE extraction loop with objectives and enemy players waiting to ruin your day was one of the best tactical shooter experience out there. But like so many of the modern shooters, its anti-cheat makes it unplayable on Linux. So surprisingly I turned to Escape from Tarkov. Even though I only play it offline in PvE mode because the anti-cheat stops you playing online with the PvP mode, it still gives me that intense feeling of risk and reward. Tense firefights, tactical movement, careful looting. It may not have other players, but the vibe is definitely there. It's the best replacement I've found so far for Delta Force operations, with one exception, which I'll talk about in a minute. So, yeah, I do miss Apex Legends, and I can play it on Xbox if I really want to. And I really do miss Delta Force, and that's coming out to Xbox in August, but it will be on the controller. Shut up, Calvin. Although I can play Apex Legends now and Delta Force in the future on console, I do really miss them on PC. But honestly, not enough to go back to Windows. Fedora gives me a system that's mine. No forced updates, no telemetry, no advertising, no bloat. Thanks to Proton Lutris and the Linux gaming community, I haven't just adapted, I've leveled up. Here's something I didn't expect. Returning to The Division. It felt like coming home. I've got over 3,000 hours in that game, and in many ways it's one of the first true extraction shooters, way before the genre took off. Dark Zone mode still delivers those sweaty, unpredictable moments where everything is on the line. And now, coming back to it on Linux, it's helped me to move on from Delta Force and Apex. It's not just nostalgia, it still holds up and it still hits hard. And then there's Sulfur, easily one of the strangest and most refreshing shooters I've played recently. It's dark, different and creative in all the best ways. It doesn't follow the trends, it breaks them, and honestly that's exactly what I want more of. So Linux gaming isn't about copying what you've left behind, it's about discovering new ways to play. If you're thinking of making the switch, don't be afraid, experiment. Let me know which games are keeping you on Windows and I'll help you fill the gap. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like and maybe a subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Another job well executed.